Improve it. Improve it.
Podcast.
Improve it, peeps. Welcome to today's show. This month on the show, we're talking all about motivation, especially motivation when it comes to the holidays. So I want you right now, just wherever you are, to take a moment and feel where you're at. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. You're hearing this podcast if you're listening right when it comes out in the middle of November. The holidays are upon us, and this is a time, my friends, when things get hectic. Life gets busy, and sometimes this means our motivation to take care of ourselves goes out the window. Now, I want you to take a moment and just think of a word that comes to mind when you think about the word motivation. When you hear the word motivation, what comes up? Now that you have that word, I want you to hold it close as we go through our time together today, because let me say this, motivation starts and ends with you. My goal is to give you more tools to put in your motivational toolkit every single day and to let you end this show knowing that you have them at your disposal. Now, when I hear the word motivation, especially when it comes to holiday motivation, it means I'm being able to be in community with those that I love while still making my routines and habits that allow me to show up the way I want to a priority. And one of those practices for me, if you are a longtime listener of this show, you will know is mindfulness. And mindfulness is something that I do every single morning, but it means meditation, breath work, calming myself, centering myself, and being okay, allowing myself to sit in silence. And today's guest, y'all, is an amazing witness to this practice and someone to help motivate you to take time for the most important asset in your life, you. Samantha Skelly is a true luminary in the wellness world, serving as an entrepreneur. She's the CEO of 2 multi-million-dollar enterprises and a groundbreaking leader in the breathwork movement. Now, her personal mission to transform lives through the power of breath is not just inspiring, but revolutionary. She's a best-selling author, an international speaker, and a wellness coaching expert who's redefining how we approach healing addiction, anxiety, and mental health issues. She is the visionary behind Pause Breathwork and its game-changing mobile app designed to bring the profound benefits of breathwork to people everywhere. You'll find the link to the Pause Breathwork app in our show notes today. Now, she's impacted nearly 250,000 lives globally. And her work is a call to awakening and self-discovery, guiding people to harness their breath for emotional freedom and heightened vitality. So I'm so excited to introduce you to Samantha Skelly, who's shaping the future of wellness one breath at a time. If you click play today, it's because you want to be able to listen to your highest consciousness, or you want to experience the emotional freedom this life could provide. And most importantly, if you're listening in November, you want the motivation to stay cool, calm, and collected this holiday season. So if this sounds like you, grab a pen and paper. We've got so many tangible things coming your way, and let's improve it with the incredible Samantha Skelly. Improve it, peeps. Y'all are welcome. Let me just say this for free. Y'all are welcome. Okay, because Samantha Skelly is on the show today, and we're already best friends. We just met like 3 minutes ago. And Samantha, you're the shit. Welcome to the Improve It podcast. First of all, let's set an intention for our time together. I always love to do that. So what's a one word intention that you want to give to yourself, our audience, the Improve It peeps? What's an intention we want to vibe with?
Playful. That's what I'm feeling today, Erin. I'm just feeling playful, you know.
Yes, I need it.
Let's just get down and dirty with some play, you know?
Yes. Yes. And I told you before we hit record, listen, I love the peeps community. I love y'all real hard. But today I said this show selfishly is going to be a little for me. Okay. I give y'all a lot of what you want. Today is a little for mama. Okay. So, okay. Here's the deal. We're talking all about holiday motivation. Okay. We're going to have fun. This is going to be playful. I already feel it. I'm like sweating. I'm in a giant vest right now.
I'm sweating too. Is it like our excitement to be best friends already? We're like, oh my God, I made a new friend.
I know.
Getting hot in
I
here.
think that's it. That's it. I'm feeling it. But okay. In my sweat, let me talk to you because the show is in November. The show is coming out in November. We're talking about the holidays. People get stressed around the holidays. And I wanted to change it up on this show. I wanted to talk about holiday motivation. I wanted to change the narrative. So when you hear the words holiday motivation, what comes to mind for you? Does anything come to mind for you?
I think one of the decisions I made long ago during the holidays, which has like radically changed my experience of the holidays, is like, I don't want to do anything that feels like an obligation, like no obligatory decisions. And I started doing that because I live in San Diego. My family is up in Canada because that's where I'm from. My husband's family is in Jersey. And so it's like, there can be a lot of like obligatory decisions around the holidays. And so the place that I come back to all the time is just what would feel like a heck yes in my body. Like if obligatory decisions were completely away, what would give me the most energy? And I feel like when we don't have those things in our life that are constantly pulling at our energy, motivation is like energy, motivation, inspiration is actually like our natural state. So I'm kind of answering the question in a little backdoor kind of way, but it's like removing all the resistance to a certain degree as much as you can, removing the pressure. And when we do that, we feel this surge of just like excitement and joy and passion. And the other thing that is so important to me going through the holidays is like making sure that I'm still like on my game with my health, like my physical health, my mental health, my spiritual health, like really making sure that I'm still doing my practices so that when January hits, I'm just like, let's freaking go. I'm so stoked to start another year.
Oh my God. Yes. Okay. I have so many thoughts and questions for you. Okay. Because I'm so with you. Like I need that heck yes, but I'm a recovering people pleaser. And so how do you, especially with like familial family obligations, how do you like navigate that with the heck yes? Because this is for me. This again is for me. Looking to me. Okay.
A mantra that I have, whether it's with my family or business or whatever it is, it's like, what's good for me is good for the world. If I'm self-sacrificing and I'm self-abandoning to meet your need, no one is actually going to win in that.
Yes.
No one's going to win in that. And so because I too was a people pleaser, like in my early 20s. And so the recovery process felt a little sticky because I had to put up boundaries where there was no boundaries before. I had to say no. And typically I would say yes. Like I was notoriously like the yes person, like anything, like yes. I would override that internal no. I would override my own internal boundaries. I would self-abandon. I would not be in self-consent with myself. And at the end of the day, I'm like, fuck all y'all. Like,
yeah.
And it's like, and like, that's not good, right? We want to have these like reciprocal, beautiful, exceptional relationships. And for that to feel really good for me, I got to honor what's a yes for me, And so now it's like when I say yes to an invitation or I say yes to whatever it is, I really want to be there. It's not like like even like being here right now. I'm like, I'm so stoked to be with Erin and record this podcast, like 100%. And like, you guys can probably feel that in my energy. Like no part of me was like a no for this. It was like a let's freaking go.
Yes.
And it's like, and then when I bring that energy, it's like, it's fun for you. It's fun for the audience. So same thing with like family stuff or relationships or work or projects or whatever it is. Like, it's got to feel like a full yes, because that's where everybody wins.
Oh my God. Okay. We just went to church. Amen. Thank you. And yes. Okay. Because yes, I needed that. See, I told you I needed this. Selfishly, I'm taking little nooks. Okay. So let me ask you this. What was it that people pleaser recovery that led you to this work, or what led you to this work? How did you get here?
All right, let's take it back. Are you ready? Let's take it back.
Let's go back.
So there I was in Canada growing up. I grew up as a dancer and I was a child actress when I was younger. So I was like the chick in the Tide commercials. And then later in my early 20s, I worked on Smallville as a stunt double. So my whole life, I was either in front of a camera on stage, and I was in entertainment. Like that was the path that I wanted to take. Like I wanted to be like, I don't know, an actress or a dancer, a performer. Like that was always like the path that I was going to go down. But in my early 20s, I developed a really unhealthy relationship to food, to my body. I had chronic anxiety. I had disordered eating. I had body image issues. I had all these things. And what was interesting is I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs and people who were really into personal development. So like logically, like I knew better, but I wasn't changing. There was no transformation. I was like going to a bunch of therapy and reading a bunch of books and doing a bunch of stuff, but like nothing was actually changing. I was just consuming all this information. And I'm like, yeah, I'm messed up and I know I'm messed up, but like nothing's changing. So I read the book, Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. She's an amazing writer. Yeah. She like shaved her head recently. I'm like, you go, girl. Like,
what?
let's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big magic. She's creative with that new head.
Man.
You know?
It's happening.
Okay.
Yeah. She's rad. So she talked about going to Bali and having this like spiritual awakening. So I did that. I was like, I feel like what I need is like somatic. And for those of you who are not familiar with that word, like soma means body in Greek. So it's like body healing versus just mindset change, if that makes sense. And I knew that there was like practices and modalities for that. And a lot of them come from the East. So I went to Bali and I started like searching that out. And I found the exact guy that Elizabeth Gilbert went to. And I had a session with him. And the first thing that he said to me after the session was like, you need to go meditate. Like your brain is so fast. You have all the like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, I hate meditation though. Like sitting there with my thoughts. And plus like, having ADHD and then having like extreme body image issues, the last thing that you want to do is just like sit there and feel your emotions. I'm like, that's awful. But then I was like, man, I came all the way here to Bali. I should probably listen to this guy. So anyway, I go to this meditation school. There was no meditation class at the time, but there was a breathwork class and it was 3 hours. And immediately I judged it. I'm like, that sounds ridiculous. That sounds so boring. I've been breathing for 20 years. Like, what is this going to do? And then that like inner voice inside of me was like, no, you should go do this. Like that intuition, right? Like my intuition like hijacked my ego and my judgment. And thank God. So I went into the class and I started breathing in this pattern that they taught, which is like, so 2 breaths in. And immediately I began to feel like, oh, something's different here. Within like the 3 to 5 minute mark, my whole body felt like so electric. And that 3 hours felt like 15 minutes. It was just like so quick. And I woke up from that experience and I was like, why does the whole world not know that we can heal our bodies with our breath? Like this is crazy. So crazy. So I just began researching and like sending cold emails out to like the breathwork. This was 15 years ago when breathwork was not as cool as it is today, but I just would send these cold emails out to these breathwork gurus, you know, Stan Groff and all these like, you know, guys who were sort of like leading at the time. And I'm like, you don't know me, but you need to mentor me. And I don't know what that looks like, but like, I need to learn what the heck this was. Within 3 months, I healed my eating disorder and just became a student of breathwork for 8 years. I just was doing it every single day. For the last 15 years, I've done it every single day for 20 minutes minimum. And it's completely changed my life. And then 8 years after being a student of breathwork, I got the inspiration to build Pause Breathwork. And now we've trained thousands of people to become breathwork facilitators. We've trained hundreds of thousands of people in our method. So like lots of people are doing the pause breathwork technique and it's just been a good time, you know?
Oh my God. Okay. So this is why we're like, yes. First of all, I was a dancer and performer my whole life. Also,
really?
I have image issues. Yes.
Oh, let's go.
So, okay. And I feel I resonate with what you talk about so deeply. I want your guy in Bali. I'm going. But then
he just died.
Oh, you know what's crazy? I like had a feeling. I was like, he's probably dead.
Yeah, dude, okay. He just died like last year or 2 years ago. Yeah, rest in peace. He's amazing.
Okay, well,
but right. I got other people for you. I got other people.
Okay,
I'm
gonna follow your stuff, Samantha. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna follow your stuff. So, okay. So long story long, this is Amazing. I mean, this is a beautiful path. It's led you here. You had your own awakening. That spiritual awakening has awakened so many other people, hundreds of thousands of people all over the world. What a freaking beautiful story. I'm so freaking stoked to chat with you. I also found I have a really deep spiritual side that I found probably 5 years ago and have really leaned into. And I can say without a doubt, I use breath work, but I also use meditation. And these things are considered so woo to so many people, but it is the fundamental of why I'm even sitting here talking to you today.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be here without it.
I think they're becoming more and more mainstream. Like I think like 25 years ago, people were like, meditation, yoga, like that's for like hippie granola chicks in Southern California. And now it's like you're seeing meditation in like the UFC. You're seeing breath work come out in like boardrooms in corporate America. Like it's slowly coming through. But I'm so with you. Like if I didn't heal myself through breath work and breath work is a form of meditation. I get that question a lot, so I'll just clear that up. Meditation is a passive practice, right? We're closing our eyes, we're sitting down, we're letting our thoughts pass. We get to the same result as breathwork. In my opinion, breathwork is just more efficient because it takes us out of our survival mind quicker. So I love meditation, but I'll never do it before breathwork.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm like at my computer and I'm like doing something at my computer and I'm all in my mind and then I just go to meditate, the thoughts are like, woo, there's like a million thoughts up there. Right. But if I do even 3 minutes of breath work, like breathing into the belly, like I shared, up into the chest and out through the mouth, 3 minutes of that, and then go into a like passive meditation. Beautiful. Right. So breath work is like an active practice, right? Where there's like a physical like movement. Typical meditation is passive.
Dude, I am just loving everything. I want to give a shout out to my peeps because they have been really awesome in sending in questions. And I have a question from one of our peeps that I want to play for you. I'm just going to hold it to the microphone. And this one I think is I wanted to guide the rest of our conversation.
Hey, Erin. I'm a leader in a fast-paced PR company, and I've been hearing a lot about the benefits of breath work for managing stress and enhancing team performance. But I'm curious, how can I effectively introduce breath work to my team? And what practical steps can I take to ensure it becomes a valuable part of our company culture?
Okay, so I actually know who this peep is. And
I love
it. And I will say, I know this person, and I can tell you that PR specifically can be a very stressful space. A lot of people listening work in really tight deadline driven environments. And I will say, even, I'm fortunate and we're fortunate to be business owners, so we can create our own culture. But a lot of cultures, when you bring up the subject of breath work or just mindfulness, it's not common and people don't even know where to start. So, okay, I want to talk through this with you because I'm wondering if you have any steps that leaders could take when they're introducing breath work to their team. And especially if that team has some type of trepidation or just judgment, like you even said, I judged that 3-hour breath work session, the very first one. So are there any things you could do and they could do to tell their team, hey, this is going to work?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like starting off is just breath awareness, right? So if we look at it from like a company culture and a performance and efficiency lens, it's like what we know to be true is our emotionality is directly related to our results, right? If we are in like a powerful, clear, confident state, we're going to go out there, we're going to ask for the sale, we're going to do the thing, we're going to handle stress so much better, right? But if we're in like a depleted, stressful, scarcity state, then our results are going to be much different. And so something that I love starting with when I go into organizations and like, there's like 60 dudes in suits and then I walk in and my like, they're like, oh God, what's this chicken and teacher? It's like just teaching them the concept of our breath. Every single emotion that we have has a corresponding breath pattern, right? So like the breath of anxiety is like all up in our chest. And like typically it's like quick and then we like hold our breath Like, right? And then there's like breath for relaxation, which is like the vacation breath, right? So what I start off with is like, hey guys, don't change your breath. Just notice it. What are you noticing?
Yeah.
And then I get them to like share like, okay, oh, I noticed that like I'm not breathing. Okay, well, that's interesting. I noticed that I'm, breathing really quickly and it's kind of all over the place. That's interesting. I noticed that I take one deep breath and then I don't, whatever it is. And then we can kind of go, okay, well, what emotion is coming forth because of that? Because if we're breathing in an anxious way, the body's like, we're anxious, something's wrong. And then we like look for it. So rather than the body breathing itself, take control of your breath. Ask yourself, what is the emotion that I want to experience? Right? Okay, well, I want to experience like confidence. I want to experience power. I want to experience clarity, right? That's the emotion. So then what is the breath pattern that corresponds with that emotion? Well, and that's like exaggerated, but we got to choose that breath pattern. And then it's like, the body's like, oh, we're good. We're safe, right? It stimulates our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest, lets us know like, hey, everything's actually okay. Even if the house is burning down, everything's okay. Like earlier today, right before we went on this podcast, an email got sent out to our gigantic database on something like an old email. I'm like, how, like literally, okay, this is freaking hilarious. I was so pissed about this an hour ago. I'm way better now.
Yeah.
But so I got married 2.5 weeks ago.
Crap.
And thank you. So exciting. But guess what this freaking email said? This email said, subject line, my love life is non-existent.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. What? You don't have to name the system, but I'm assuming this is like a Constant Contact or like a MailChimp or like something with a newsletter.
HubSpot. We use HubSpot.
Okay.
Yeah. So that email was an email that was written like literally, Erin, 10 years ago. I swear to God. And it was like, my love life is not existing because I'm so busy building this company. Maybe it was like 8 years ago. I'm so busy building this company. And like, then I like relate business to dating and like the dates that I went, blah, 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 blah. Like it was like this very old email that got sent out today, 2 weeks ago. I'm like, who's getting fired around?
How?
Dude, I know. I was literally pissed. I don't think I've ever been that mad at something in like the 15 years I've been an entrepreneur. But that happened and I could feel this like literal rage. My husband's like, what is going on? And I was like, okay, how do I want to feel right now? I want to feel clear, confident. I want to get to the bottom of it and I want to be a leader. What's the corresponding breath pattern I need in order to solve this problem?
Love.
Because if not, I was going to literally like.
What was the breath pattern? Can you share the breath pattern?
I just took two, like I just got really still. I sat in that chair behind me. I got really still and I took 2 deep breaths in through the mouth. And one really long one. And I let that exhale be longer than the inhale. What that does is it stimulates our parasympathetic nervous system. So originally when I got this email and I saw this in my inbox, my sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight or flight, was so active.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to fight someone or I'm going to run away.
Yeah. I bet you were going to fight. And this is, I would have gone fight. I would have picked you as fight. Oh my God.
Dude, you could feel the energy. I was about to fight. I was like, I'm going to fight someone. And so I'm like, well, that's not useful energy. Right. I called my COO and like him and I have a great relationship. So like I was like, to him, but obviously not to the rest of my team. And then I was like, okay, I don't want this energy in my system. I need to come back to a place of just like balance and clarity. Cause like, yeah, that sucks. And shit happens.
Yeah.
Business. You know what I mean? You get it.
Yeah.
So anyway, then I'm like, okay, well, the solve is actually like super simple. I send out an email to say, hey guys, that was so crazy. I have no idea how this email got sent out. This was literally from 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's
pretty simple. And then people are going to be like, whatever.
Exactly. And people are like, she is human and they make mistakes, but I get it when that stuff happens. You freak out. It's interesting because I'm thinking about even the listener who sent this in, who I said I do know. This person has been diagnosed or thinks that they have asthma as well because they feel like they can't breathe, especially while working. And so I think about the importance of first of all, recognizing your breath, because I don't think sometimes we even sit back and recognize, okay, what is my body trying to tell me? What is my breath trying to tell me? And how do I want to feel? And then putting those thoughts into motion and how that could prevent us even going down the disease rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Because nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, man. 100%.
Well, I love this idea of just recognizing it. If you have somebody who is skeptical, I want to talk about, is there any practice for, especially this peeper, anybody listening who is just stressed out daily? I mean, I had a job where I was constantly, even the first probably 6 years of building Improve It, I was that leader who just felt like stress was like proving that I was useful. And stress was like, that's the way I'm supposed to feel because I'm building this business. This is how I have to feel. And everything has shifted. And I never want to feel those feelings ever again. But for somebody listening who is still in that fight or flight, do you have an easy practice that they could use daily for breath work that would be super simple for them to implement?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to give them a frame first, and then I'm going to give you an actual practice.
Okay.
So the framework. My acronym for business is LIFE: lucrative, impactful, fun, and easy.
Oh! Write that down. Lucrative, impactful, fun, and easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. That's like the standard, right? Like that, like lucrative, impactful, fun, and easy. Like when I'm in that, that's when I'm like, I'm in flow. And it doesn't mean that I'm in that 100% of the time, right? There's times where you're on a monthly basis, your profit tanks. There's times where you're like, I'm not creating the impact that I want to. There's times where it's not fun and there's times where it's hard. But those are like, let yourself visit those neighborhoods. Don't live there.
Mm-hmm.
Let yourself live in the neighborhood of lucrative, impactful, fun, and easy. And like, yeah, we got to go to that neighborhood sometimes because sometimes we have to do the hard thing. That's just what it is in entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Right. So much of cultivating an environment of running a business is giving yourself freaking permission for it to be good.
Yes.
Like, one question that I ask myself a lot is like, how good can I take it?
Yes.
How good can I take it? How good can I let it get,
Yes.
And oftentimes, we have these like self-sabotaging pieces where it's like, when we are making money or it is good, it's like, let me sabotage myself to get back to what's normal,
Yep.
So it's just, it really truly comes down to self-love. Like, can I love myself enough to actually have a business that provides for me financially? I'm able to help a crap ton of people. I'm able to have fun doing it. Especially with your business, right? Like how come, one of the key metrics should be like, how much fun can we have doing this?
Yes, it actually is. That is
so
truly how I try to measure success. Do I do it all the time? No, because I'm a human, but it's like,
Exactly.
It truly is.
Yes,
Truly.
exactly. And then it's like, how easeful can it be? And like with that ease, I'm on a rant for a second. I'm going to come back to the practice. Don't worry. But with that easeful, like what I learned this year with Pause is simplicity is the name of the freaking game. Like, can we get our machines to be so simple, so clear, so they're easy to optimize. They're easy when like something's not working. It's like, oh, that's the issue versus like all these complications. So anyway, letting it be easeful, letting it be easy. So just number one, the frame is like, love yourself enough for it to be so good.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be hard. Like I grew up as a dancer, a performer. And so much of my love that I got was through like hard work. Like it was, you get it, right? It's like being in the studio for 6 hours, Monday to Friday, working hard. But then I would get on a stage, I would do a performance, I would win first place, and I would get all this love. So I had this neuro link that was like hard work equals love. And I brought that into business.
Yes.
Right? It's like the harder I work and the more I grit my teeth and the more I don't sleep, then I'm going to be loved. Well, that's a broken system that leaves us burnt out. So the new frame can be like, my metric for success now is like, how do I actually feel? You know, 80% of the time, like I said, there is going to be the 20 where you're doing the thing that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
But 80% of the time, can you feel like in love? Can you feel in joy? Can you feel fulfilled? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is energy is absolutely everything. And I really believe the most successful entrepreneurs in the world just know how to manage their energy. You know, like, who is it? I think it was like Peter Drucker that says culture eats strategy for breakfast. Well, culture is culture is all about energy, right? And so when we can manage our energy internally, that shifts everything. That's how we see the world. And so what I love doing in between every single meeting that I have, and for anyone who's an entrepreneur, which I know there's a lot that listen to the show, use this practice of 2 breaths in, like I taught, fill up the belly, fill up the chest, release, and do that for 3 minutes. And then at the end of the 3 minutes, take a deep breath in through the nose, hold at the top, and really just like squeeze your abs, squeeze your arms, squeeze everything, and like shoot the energy up and out. And as you're doing that, we're releasing any stagnant energy from our previous meeting. And we're going into the next one or the next work block or the next podcast recording with a new intention, and really set that intention. When our mind is clear, intention setting is so easy, right? Like we started this podcast with like, what's the intention? My mind was clear. I'm like, I just want to play and have fun.
Yes.
And we're doing it. Right. So it's like, set that intention and do that in between every single time we context switch.
Oh my God. So freaking good. So freaking good. Because you know what happens? You're right. The meetings that you have at the end of the day are generally stacked with energy from the previous meetings.
Yep.
And that's a really good clearing system. I'm super freaking here for that, because I got to tell you, sometimes when my day is back to back to back, which I'm sure anybody listening can feel this, your brain doesn't even work right? Like, because you haven't given that time just to be a human and breathe.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Oh my God. And I love our LIFE acronym. I'm super here for that. Lucrative. What was I? Impactful, fun, and easy. Lucrative, impactful, fun, and easy. Okay. That's it forever in my brain. Okay.
You got it.
So
good.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because I want to talk about, we have a lot of people here who want to present things to their leadership, because they're HR professionals and they have to present to leadership in order to get this type of work approved in their business. But if they were to take something like breathwork, which I know you do in organizations, to their leaders, how could they tell them that they could measure the effectiveness of it in reducing the team's stress? What's an easy way that you could help them just demonstrate this is a proven strategy? It will help your employees. Yeah. What's something they could take with them to leadership?
So the way that we do it at Pause, we have a Pause corporate division where we actually go into companies and we do these either 90-day sprints or 6-month sprints, where we go in first and then we just take a measurement, a survey of satisfaction, fulfillment, energy levels. Mental health is like a huge thing that's just like super overlooked in corporate America and in lots of companies. So it's like doing like a little mental health check of like, where are we at? And then we implement a breathwork program. So we'll go in and we'll teach breathwork to their entire organization once a week and just get people like clear them out, really allow them to like choose we work a lot with like identities of, if we want to have better results in our world, like we got to shift our identity. We have to shift the view that we have on ourselves. So we do a lot of like identity work and things like that. And then at the end of that, either 90 days or 6 months, then we do another survey. We can actually measure the happiness, the productivity that increased, the stress that decreased, the happiness that increased, and it's all done in metrics, right? And so we've done this in so many companies now that we can actually see over, multi-industries, the shift in happiness, the shift in culture, the shift in energy. And so, that's something that we do at Pause on the regular. It's so fun. Yeah, it's so fun.
Okay. And we're gonna put all the links to Pause and all the things in the show notes so people can find you. Okay. So this is the selfish question. I have a selfish question. So you mentioned, and this kind of brought me to this question. So you mentioned just feeling your body, asking your body specific sensations. How do you want to feel in that moment? I have tried somatic therapy. And is that something that you do with your breath work? Is that something you incorporate with the breath work? And if so, how do you do it?
Yeah. So breath work is actually a somatic technique. So somatic is just like body-based, right? So body-based therapy is rather than processing emotion through the level of the mind, therapy is an example of like traditional talk therapy is an example of processing through the level of the mind. Well, the problem with that is we can talk about our problems for 20 years and they never actually get healed because the trauma lives in the body. Trauma lives in the body, right?
Yes,
So somatic therapy is amazing because we're actually bypassing the mind. We're getting into the body. Now, breathwork and somatic therapy are like two peas in a pod. Now, the reason why breathwork is such a powerful complement to somatic therapy is breathwork allows us to get out of our mind. The quicker we get out of our mind, the quicker we get into our body, the more we can actually begin to heal at such a deep visceral level. So somatic therapy and like breathwork is a form of somatic therapy. And it's a beautiful practice to really open up the awareness so that we can actually do that deeper work.
Love that. Okay. Yes. And I will say, I truly believe emotions live in our body. It's what causes physical pain. That is what I had this whole healing journey, man. I got to tell you, the mind body connection is so wild, and truly healed myself though through craniosacral therapy, through meditation, some breathwork practices, and then truly did not use doctors, medicine, or any type of,
I want to hear all about that one day.
Yes, because it is truly like we have the power to heal ourselves. We just don't take the time.
Yeah. My next book is called You Are the Drug. And it talks about that. Like you are the drug.
When are we getting that book? When is that book coming?
I'm just writing it right now. So probably 2025, maybe early 2026.
Oh my God, Samantha. Yes. Because honestly, and I have to tell you, I mean, we did this 2 years ago on this show. We did a self-healing series. And I don't know if you've ever read the book, two books, When the Body Says No by Gabor Mate.
Yes, he's amazing.
Oh my God. And then Healing Back Pain by Dr. John Sarno.
So good. Yes, both of them.
Both of those books completely changed my life and made me understand that you could have all the doctors in the world at your disposal, all the healers, all the therapists. It's an inside job. And that's what you're helping people realize.
Yeah, 100%.
Slowing down 100%. To realize that. Which is so freaking dope.
I think our world is really slowly but surely, we're really understanding that like food is medicine.
Yes.
Like our whole food system is so messed up with all of the seed oils and all the crap in our food. Food is medicine. When we eat food off the farm as fresh as possible without any crap in it, like that will heal our body. And doing this energy work, doing this deep emotional healing will heal so many physical things.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I'm such a believer in that. I love the work that you're doing and sharing with the world. And I want you to answer this last question. And I want you to tell everybody where you can find you. We say it and prove it that your it is the thing that you're here to do. Improve it, your purpose. What would you say is Samantha's it?
Mental wellness.
Yes.
Yeah, just like helping people be well in their minds, because when we're well in our mind and our body, our whole life will change. And it's like, we got one chance at this life thing, as far as we know. Why not create a masterpiece? Like, why not be the happiest, healthiest, most powerful version of yourself? And for me, the tool that has changed everything for me, obviously, is breathwork. So that's my thing.
That's your thing. And okay, tell everybody where they can find your thing. Tell them all the things.
So Instagram, my name, Samantha Skelly, that's where I post like a lot of my stuff. If you want to become a breathwork facilitator, go to pausebreathwork.com. You can find it there. And then also if you're like, hey, I don't want to be a facilitator, but I just want to incorporate breathwork into my life, then we have our Pause Breathwork app. So you can go to Android or Apple Store, wherever you get your apps, and it's just Pause Breathwork. You'll see a little orange emblem and there's a 14-day free trial. So you can check out the app and stop breathing.
Oh my God. Okay. Yes. Everybody, we're putting the links to that in our show notes. I got to tell you, this was playful. This was fun. It was informative. I've got my life acronym. I got a new friend. And I'm just so excited to know you. I think your work is brilliant. I'm so grateful we had you on the show. I know the peeps are going to reach out to you. So Samantha, you are the it. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun. You're such a joy, Erin. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Improve It, peeps. I could talk to Samantha all day. Here is your homework. Number 1, I want you to write down this acronym: life, lucrative, impactful, fun, easy. Life. Lucrative, impactful, fun, and easy. I will never forget that. I want you to put that on your bedroom mirror or on your bathroom mirror, on a Post-it note next to your laptop, next to your computer camera, wherever it is that you need to see it as your reminders for life to be fun and playful. If you have a question, this is your second piece of homework for us to ask one of our guests or for me to answer in a solo episode. Use that SpeakPipe app, link, I should say, on the show notes to send us a cue. I would love to answer your question and create content that you are searching for and find meaningful. And you know what I'm going to say, my peeps? I want you to keep failing, keep improving, because this world needs that very special it that only you can bring. I'll see you next time.
Improve it. Improve it.
Podcast.